that too much blue now?
No, you're
Right?
clear.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so first of all, before we begin this conversation, I wanted to say that I guess my introduction to dance hall for real was your music back in like the early 2000s. Like it
Hey.
was like my beginning introduction because then like later on I moved to New York and I went to like my first ever Brooklyn basement party with all the dance hall, and then that's when I really started to learn more and more about the dance hall scene. So I just want to
Crazy.
say thank you for being like my beginning introduction to that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. That's amazing to hear that. Yeah.
So I want to start off because you've been in this game for a very, 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 very long time, and like longevity is something that's really hard to attain within the music industry. So I want to know, first of all, how have you been able to maintain your love for making music? Because I know a lot of people can fall out of love with stuff.
Yeah, for sure. With things, I think there's ebbs and flows in life, and so I love the music in terms of what it gave to me so much. So I still get from it. So me trying to be the artist was me emulating people who I rated or I liked their music, and then it kind of just you're not always on point when doing it. So when I'm not on point, those times where it's kind of writer's block time or something like that, I kind of get to be the fan again. You know what I mean? And that helps me to be not so burnt out, I guess, and keep the love for it. You know?
So what was one of the songs that like really made you fall in love with music?
Oh, wow. I love music from a younger age. My mom would play Beatles and Paul Simon to me, and all the popular music of the day in the 70s. So I love the music from then. I got a great appreciation for different types of music. My aunt owned a sound system. My dad just was a party dude. He liked to go out a lot, and so we knew all popular songs from all genres. In my house growing up in the 70s, there's R&B songs, and then there's reggae, which was from Jamaica and stuff. But I would say that dancehall music and hip hop music kind of spoke to me differently. I was just about to turn into a double D like a teenager, and I started hearing people, instead of these love ballads or very beautiful songs, there was this song music that was just kind of talk to me. You know what I mean? It was like talking to me in the way I talk to my friends, or how we just converse at school. So I started to really love dancehall and hip hop like at age probably 11, 12, where I started to think, maybe there's something in that life for me. I don't know what it was. And about age 14, 15, I thought, I was going to be a producer. I had that in the back of my mind one day. One day I turned into a producer. So, yeah, it wasn't until I was about 17 when I started to really write rhymes and say, I like this a lot. Even more than the idea of being a producer, I thought I can write my own songs. And with all the other songs my parents introduced me to, and just growing up in Jamaica, I kind of always never knew the entire song. So I would know pieces of it, but I wouldn't remember all of the song. So when I started to write my own rhymes, I was like, this is dope because I know every word. I can't sing it out, you know what I mean? So, it was the start of this relationship with me and actually making music about 17 years old.
So let's talk about that leap of faith, because you were like on this career path to become like to do hotel management, right?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you were also like about to become like a professional swimmer or working to become a professional.
Yeah. My whole family, my mom and my dad, they swam for Jamaica, and so did my brother. He played water polo for Jamaica, and we played in school. It was like a family tradition thing. It was like, that's the swimming family, so to speak. you know, my mom and pops taught people how to swim every summer, and they would throw me in the pool and say, "Look, I was 5 years old. They're like, he could swim." So by the time I was 13, I was training for the national team and all that. But yeah, I went to UTech in those same years that I decided I wanted to be an artist. I had to do something. I didn't want to just like bum around. And so I kind of used the time to do hotel management course in Kingston. It was funny though. There's like 80 people in my class, and you know, a lot of us were like, "There's not 80 spaces of hotel management in Jamaica right now." So a lot of us ended up knowing that we're going to be doing different things, but it was just to get that diploma, so to speak. So yeah, those two things is true. I swam and I did schooling for hotel management. But the hotel management was more to buy time. I mean, I did learn from it. I did gain knowledge from it, and it was a great 3 years. But the swimming was just passion from the heart. That's what my family did. Yeah.
So what convinced you to make that leap of faith into music? Like, okay, I'm gonna make it, because you're coming from like the small island in the Caribbean, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's hard to make it and be successful within the music industry, but you were able to do that, and that's a huge leap of faith. So like, what triggered that?
Just loving the music a lot, and then wanting to do it myself, and seeing friends of mine do it. You know, so big up to Dan Youth. He was someone who I saw, you know, come from an area that I came from, especially in Jamaica, and so you know, you usually would have to come from a more hardcore environment for people to kind of accept you. And he was from a middle class situation like myself, and he was spitting, and people loved it. And I was like, yeah. And I went to school with him, knew him. He also was the table tennis champion when I was a swimming champion in school. So when I saw him do that, I was like, you know, he kind of had friends in the business and would record with them, you know, Spragga Benz and other people. He was kind of the link at first for me to know about that whole world, which studio was where, and kind of go and check it out. And then, you know, I just started to realize I could do that for myself. But in all honesty, I never thought that it was going to be as big an international thing that happened. I thought that I was going to, my dream was to make a song that Jamaicans would be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. Like, it was, to me, a novelty at first. And I wanted to just do it and just spit. And when the first song hit, it was like, whoa. And everybody just liked the sound and my delivery and the lyrics, how it was put together. And so I decided I was kind of afraid at the time. I was saying, yo, how am I going to repeat this? You know what I mean? I love the feeling. I wanted to keep it up. And yeah, slowly as I started to write more and more and get more versed at listening to my audience and knowing what they wanted from me. Because my first set of songs were all more conscious material. It was more like, you know, just stuff where I was trying to teach people things. And a lot of my producers would be like, yo, you're trying too much, you're trying too hard. Like, you're not doing it better than Buju Banton or Caperton or Tony Rebel or these guys who are actually saying things. So just be you. Just talk about you and your life. And then I started to talk about, you know, relationships and me and the ladies and the people. I listened to the crowd, and the crowd was like, yeah, do it. So did I know it was going to be this international for me? No, I just thought that the music was big. Anyway, where I went to swimming in different countries for Jamaica, I would hear it in the clubs there, but not on the radio. So I've been to Orlando to play water polo. I've been to Trinidad. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Barbados and Bahamas. So all of these are the places I would hear our music in the clubs when I went out after like the swim meet or the water polo competition, but you wouldn't hear it on the radio. But I was cool with it like that. You know what I mean? I was cool to be able to just express myself in that way, but it became more and more huge for me and for the genre in itself. So it was a good journey. It's been a great, amazing journey, I should say. Yeah.
And you have 2 new albums dropping this year. What's
Yes,
dropping?
man.
because we're now in March. So let's talk about the first one, Live and Livin'. That
Yeah, it's
dropped.
called Live and Living.
Live. Live and Living. I keep missing.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
What's the significance of this album, and what makes it like different from past ones?
You know, when I first started out with with albums like Stage One and Dutty Rock, it was way more hardcore dancehall oriented rhythms. And then I started to gain new and new fans, and especially when I hit pop charts with songs like Get Busy and the song with Beyonce, Baby Boy, and also, you know, a few years later with Temperature and songs like that, it started to gain me a more pop audience. And I started to realize I got two different audiences. So a lot of my albums started to reflect more and more of the pop type of work in the recent years.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the focus or the emphasis was not really on the real hardcore dancehall tracks. So on this album, I kind of went back to basics since I'm not traveling a lot. Most of like 6 months out of the year, I'm usually traveling. So it gave me the opportunity to sit and work with people who I've wanted to work with for a long time. And the focus was like, I wanted to make an album, to deal with my usual party music, but also to kind of have people think about certain things that I think that I should have been saying over the years for real, or that we should as a genre. And so some songs like Lionheart is on this album, which I'm talking about, you know, us not working enough together and just clashing a lot in this genre. And then I'm talking about also on a song called Danger Zone with Bugle, about how this world is just crazy, and I'm trying to find my way out of the danger zone, how things are in Jamaica and in the world. There's a song with Serrani called it's called Protect Me. And so it's a kind of like a prayer. Lord, guide and protect me. The more they fight, I get stronger. Also, the song with Mavado is very uplifting, and it's a kind of it's another prayer also. So there's a lot of songs on the album that are very, what can I say? The mood is more of a conscious thing, and then there's a lot of songs that it's 16 tracks, so there's a lot of songs that are more party oriented and vibesy and what people might know me for. But in general, it's a more collaborative dancehall hardcore album. I think people should enjoy it. Like yourself, if you got into hardcore dancehall, you should enjoy it. It features people like myself. I'm Busy Signal in a song, and Buju is in another song with me. Junior Gang and Ching Ching is another song. Suko from Ward 21 is in a song with me called Spaceship. As I spoke about Mavado and Serrani, there's Left Side on the album. People like Bugle is on the album. Jesse Royal is on the album. So it's year 2021, and there's 21 artists on the album. So that's a good vibe, more hardcore based album. You know what I mean?
So I didn't know that there was like this division within dancehall. Like I saw it on your fact sheet, like how artists and producers won't work with each other because of other. Like, why is that? Can you like explain that more?
It's just it's really immature behavior at this point. I mean, at first it starts off of, you know, I guess jealousy or just people kind of wanting to be exclusive, but it comes a point where it's like, it's such a small island and we impact the world so much with our music and our culture, and then, you know, other musics look at it and go, oh wow, this is dope, the way they do the beat, the way how they spit on it, and they start doing it, and now they're progressing in terms of streaming and selling and getting noticed more than us. And we're continuing to kind of point fingers at each other and be like, he ain't dope like me, you ain't dope like kind of vibes. It's really about the male ego a lot. And I've been really applauding the ladies in the business of lately, like people like Shensia and Coffee and, you know, Jada Kingdom, Savannah. There's a lot of young ladies coming up. Naomi Cowan. They're just doing amazing music, and they're not clashing each other. They're not trying to, talk derogatory about the other artists. They're just trying to, make what they can out of a great thing. I mean, when we do get this blessing of, coming from a third world country, and we're blessed with a lot of people knowing us, we're popular, we're able to help sell products to them, we're able to sell music to people. It's a blessing, you know what I mean, to do art and do what you want to do. But then we kind of have turned it into something where it's very cliquish, and I don't like that anymore. I mean, I understood it coming up, but now I'm more of a open-minded person, looking at my own genre, going, damn, we don't need to be doing that all the time. Where it's wicked and it's cool, I should say, to be like showing who is the more versatile person. It's like a sport, like tennis, like like basketball, like football. But we've been becoming more and more violent. And in my whole philosophy on life, I believe in word sound power. I believe that what you say, it becomes flesh, it becomes people's ideas, no matter how grown that you think they are. You might tell someone something brand new that they learned from your song or they learned from you. So I just feel like we're perpetuating the same violence over and over on each other, and talking about each other's mother right now. And we're talking about, you know what I mean, the kids. And it's annoying to me, because I see a lot of talent, and I want these kids to reach places like where I've reached. And so some of the guys who I work with on the album, they've reached a certain distance, and I just feel like some of my audience who really don't know much more about dancehall, I need to shine the light more on them to say, yo, look at who I'm working with. These guys are dope, just as dope as when I work with the Dua Lipas or the David Guettas and these other big producers and whatnot. I think that the talent is here in Jamaica. We just, again, kind of against each other for no good reason. We want to be the man. Everybody wants to be the man, and it kind of causes that conflict.
Yeah, like that whole crabs in the barrel type of thing. I feel like a lot of places go through that sometimes.
Yeah, it is. When you come from the same place, sometimes it is hard to see someone kind of, you and them were neck and neck, and then they kind of stepping up more, and it kind of gets to be, who's the man of the moment, when we should be trying to be the monument man, be a monument, be something that the whole world is looking at, and they are looking at us, but we are just looking at ourselves like throwing punches. So I think it's good to doing projects like this. Born to Killer is a known Clash artist, but he's also doing another project called Kings of Kingston, which I'm looking forward to hearing as well, because that's a big collaborative effort. And we all see each other in the business, like the more successful people, and myself and him and people like Shaggy and, Being the Man, or even Buju and Sizzla. And we talk and we say we should do more collabs, but we're always so busy touring and doing whatever. So I just took this time to say, hey, let me do the very collaborative album that I've been wanting to do. I have the time to do it. So, yeah.
And you have a song that I read that's dropping with Spice and Shaggy.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, like that whole collaboration?
Same way. As I said, me and Shaggy, we speak about collaborations often that we need to in the genre do it. We've seen each other many times on tour and just call each other and be like, yo, that's a dope song. And just kind of discuss about, even me and Junior Gang, we speak like this too, saying to each other, we should do a lot more with each other, and so he called me up and he was like, yo, I'm helping out Spice to I'm kind of guiding her career. Not that she needed any help, because she's so talented with what she does, but just guiding her career in terms of decision making on which rhythms to go on. And we have this song and we'd love you to go on it. I was like, yeah, I'm down. And when I heard the song, trust me, y'all gonna love it. It's a song called Go Down. It's about, whining and going down low and stuff like that. So yeah, more traditional sound of dancehall, and Shaggy's sounding amazing in it. So is Gracie. I call her Gracie. Her name is Spice, of course, to everybody. And then myself, yeah, I'm spitting hot fire in there too. So good music. I think it's coming out at the end of March. Yeah, the last week in March. So like literally little after this album drops. Oh no, sorry, April. Sorry, last week of April is coming out. So it's
Okay.
a good vibe. Yeah, good vibe.
I've always wanted to ask because I remember when the I'm gonna say this so wrong. Bouncy.
Yeah,
There
bossy.
we go. I love that video, but it's caught me so off guard when Idris popped up. Uh,
Yeah.
how did that even happen? Because I wasn't
What
even.
happened with me? That happened with me when it was like, so I got this song with it was Steph London that called me. She's like, yo, I want you to get on this song quick. I'm like, okay. Me and her have been doing work back and forth. I did a remix for her. She did a song for me. We did another remix of something else. And then she was like, just go on this. And I was like, all right, let me hear it. And I listened to it. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And I kind of had it in my car for a day or so. So then she hit me back like 2 days later, like, yo, what's up? Why ain't hit the song? And I was like, oh, man, I need to. She's like, yo, Idris waiting on it. I'm like, Idris, wait, who's it? What do you mean? Idris who? She's like, yo, it's me, you, Wiley, and Idris going to be on it. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you didn't listen to it. And I was like, yeah, I listened to the first part. I'm like, this is dope. I was spit fire all over this, but I didn't hear the end. She's like, it's Idris on it. Take a listen. And I'm like, you mean the movie star, bro? So it threw me way off. Like, I thought I didn't know that. So since then, me and him have discussed. We're on another song. He's doing a special project I'm not supposed to talk about, but yeah, he's a dope lyricist and you know someone who just loves music, and so that's really cool to have a friend like him in the biz right now just from this collab. But yeah, boss, it was you know
They call that real fast.
Wiley's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Wiley's idea. So big up to Wiley, and he got the whole thing together, and you know Steffi got me involved, and then rest is history. It was a very dope song.
So I know, like, when Versus first kicked off with COVID, like you said,
Yeah,
you weren't interested in it because of like the competitive nature. So like this past
yeah.
week, D'Angelo did like a solo one when he bought Friend Zone. Would you ever consider doing Versus
That's
that?
what I love.
Yeah.
I would love that. That's pretty cool. To have the versus platform and do something like that. But to go against somebody like I play my song now you play your song, it's kind of a bit to me, I don't look at music like that.
Okay.
Even though I did enjoy the clash thing as a kid here, especially in this culture, I've seen it cause just a lot of negative attitudes towards each other so much and for so long that I don't even want to be involved in a sound clash kind of like, yo, you play your tune next. All right, you play your tune. I think it's supposed to be for all of us to be like, enjoy. You know what I mean? And it splits the fans. And to me, I just didn't like that vibe. But I didn't know D'Angelo did one by himself and brought friends on. That would be cool. I have a lot of collabs, and I could bring friends on probably virtually from the people who I did whatever with. But that would be a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I would do.
He did one this past week in the end of February. He did the Apollo Theater and he brought like Method Man on, her and I think like two other people. I can't remember who, but like yeah, there was like a whole friend setting.
Dope. Well, that's something I'd be interested in. I've never even heard. I never even knew that happened. But like to have to choose for myself between Ashanti and Keisha Cole, I want to love them both. You know what I mean? I think they're beautiful and I love their music. And so I don't want to have to be like discussing with my friend on WhatsApp after or texting them like, yo, Ashanti got her. Or you know what I mean? Nah, Keisha was bad. I don't want to do that. That's not my mindset. But yeah, what D'Angelo did was pretty dope. Now I would talk about doing that, you know?
So let's talk about you have the Sean Paul Foundation. I want to know like what gave birth to this foundation.
I've been blessed in life, I believe, and I live in a third world country, and I've always been helping people from the beginning of me making money this way. There's a lot of people to help out, and usually, you help out a couple of people, and some prove themselves to be very worthy of it. I help people out, and they make something with their life happen from whatever I gave to them. And those are the people who I always try to look out for or find new people with that type of mindset. And there's sometimes, unfortunately, you give people, you give them again, you give it, and then it turns into you spoiling them almost. You know what I mean? So I know life is hard, but I want people to know that even though I have been blessed, I work hard for mine also, and what I'm giving you, I don't want them to kind of waste the opportunity. And so, with that being said, I started to think about what really needs to be done in the country, where people like Shaggy have done a concert almost like every year. He used to do it, or every 2 years, where he gave money to the Bustamante Hospital, which was a kids' hospital. There's very, very dire need of help in our country for medical care. And so I was inspired by that, and I also helped him out quite a few times by doing the show and also donating money myself. But I started to realize that sometimes to do a bigger cause than that, than just a one-off person who keeps coming back and he's not understanding the opportunity I'm trying to give to him, and there's no growth. I don't see the growth no matter how much you try to counsel or help. I just thought that these, doing it in a bigger way would be a bigger help to much more people. So the foundation started officially last year, but I've been helping out, schools. We were damaged by hurricanes back in 2005. As I said, I helped out Shaggy's organization. I also helped out a hospital to buy dialysis machines. So I started to do more and more things like that, which was of a real charity nature. And so last year was a real tough year, and I decided to give out these care packages, which big boxes of food and also just cleaning materials, things to sanitize the house and yourself. So with the lockdowns, people were not going to work, and some families have one person doing great amounts of work and feeding 14 people, you know what I mean? So they need help right now. And that's one of the things we did. We also helped out small farmers because I'm interested in organic food, and they need the help. Sometimes they don't have proper water catchments to grow the food good. So we gave them these roofs that when it rains on it, it goes into a container, like a big silo thing, and to spray the crops with it. And we've seen amazing stuff from them since that. And then also we did stuff in the schools, which we're continuing to do now because we're back in lockdowns in Jamaica again. We bought 100 iPads last time, and we gave out to, I think, 10 different schools, got 10 iPads, and that was just in January. We're trying to do it for the Christmas season, but I figured to kind of have the emphasis on using the iPad for school, I would do it in January, because Christmas, you could you could get carried away just doing all kind of checking out the whole worldwide internet on that, not doing schoolwork over the Christmas. I wanted them to get in the gear of mind of doing work, actually. So I did that with Flow. Flow is a phone company out here that they put a chip in the phone that gave kids free data for about 2 months. So it should last till they're now in midterms now, so it should last until another month, I guess. And we're about to give out a couple more iPads. We got another shipment, and so yeah. The reason I'm doing all that is because these are hard times, and I've also experienced the homeschooling thing by myself for firsthand, and that's pretty crazy.
I was gonna ask, how is that?
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm like, yo, sit down. Climbing all over the place, swinging from everything in the room. I'm like, bro, listen to what she's. I know what she's saying. I'm like, but you can't do that in reels. You have to sit. So yeah, I understand the frustration. I cannot imagine. I live in a great house we've built, and the Wi-Fi is perfect. But I can't imagine being from an inner city community, the ghetto, where it's zinc and there's so much distractions of noise and pollution in the air and stuff like that, where to help them out to have at least to see the teacher. Because if you go study by yourself, there's just so much you can be motivated to do as a kid. I think you want to go outside and play, and if you see your other friends and you see the teacher there and she's actually doing an interesting lesson, that's much better than you trying to just check it out in a book every day for months on end. It's kind of nuts, you know. So yeah, we're trying to do that, and we're trying to organize. Recently, Sandals organization, who's a big chain of hotels out here in the Caribbean. They originated here in Jamaica, and their CEO passed away not too long ago. R.I.P. to Butch Stewart. They have kindly given some money towards us doing more iPads and looking at doing more watersheds. So cool things. I mean.
So Zoom's about to kick me off really soon. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, other than this album called Live and Living, which features a host of great dancehall artists and more hardcore work, I'm dropping an album that's called Scorcher, and that's going to be coming out in May, I think end of May. And so there's a good vibe. Me and Sia is on the album. Me and Shensi and Gwen Stefani in one song, one Lovers Rock reggae song. Ty Dolla $ign is on the album. Tove Lo is on the album. Stylo G is on the album. Junior Gong and Jimmy Jam is on the album. It's another loaded album. And as I said, yeah, it's a weird time in life and I can't tour and sing the music, but it's giving me a lot of time at home with the family, which I'm grateful for, but also time to work on things that I've wanted to do for a while. So I'm just going to keep putting out music when it comes to me, even though we can't tour at this time. But I think people need music, you know what I mean? People need that right now. So look out for Scorcher album in May, and also March the 12th, that's next week, this album called Live and Living drops. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy.
Where is the buzz you said was mine?